So these are 4 of my favorite exercises when it comes to eliminating the man boobs. Hey man, Gary Walker here, and welcome back for another video. All right, in this video, I'm gonna give you the best gym exercises to eliminate chest fat. So here's the thing though, when it comes to chest fat, there's actually 2 different kinds. And I did a free 5-video series on describing what types of chest fat there are and telling you how to find out what type you might have, because at the end of the day, it makes a massive difference in what you do to eliminate your chest fat. If you're interested in that, then go to the link in the description box below and you can get my 5-video series on how to eliminate your man boobs. All right, with that said, let me get into the first exercise. When it comes to a lot of chest fat, typically it isn't at the top of the chest. It's usually at the bottom. That's what the man boob is. And so one of the best things you can do for eliminating it, obviously, is gonna be nutrition. So definitely you gotta make sure that your nutrition is on point. But when it comes to the exercises I'm choosing are gonna be exercises that are gonna help build the muscle in the bottom of the area. Because here's what happens when you build muscle. When you build muscle, it actually expands. All right, so you're gonna expand the skin that's across. So if you've got loose skin and it's hanging down, by building muscle, it will actually tighten that up. So that's going to minimize it. Again, to get rid of it, make sure you watch that video series, because there's different things that you're gonna have to do as far as different types of nutrition, types of rest and recovery, types of nutrients. For the first exercise, we're gonna use a parallel bar dip, all right? But what we're gonna do differently is we're gonna do an angled version, and you're gonna lower your body under control slowly. So the main difference in the reason you want to do this at an angle, typically on a bar dip, you see people going straight up and straight down. When you're going straight up and down, you're targeting your triceps. So just by shifting your body and leaning forward at an angle, that's gonna take some of the emphasis that's on your triceps and place it more on your lower pecs. Also, if you have a bar similar to this, you'll see the angle here to where it's more narrow and then it flares out. I like to go wide. If you're going wide, you're still gonna tuck your elbows in, but what happens when you go wide is you're gonna get a deeper stretch in your pecs, as opposed to coming narrow, where a lot of the stretch, once again, is gonna be placed more on the triceps. So if you don't have it, it's okay, but if you do, I'm gonna recommend you go wide. And once you're out here, what I do recommend you do, like I said, is you don't flare your elbows out, you keep them tucked in, lean forward at an angle. Perfect. All right, so you want to make sure that you're maintaining that control on the way down. The other thing, by angling forward, it's a lot safer for your shoulders as well. Not only are you taking a lot of the emphasis from your triceps and placing it on the pecs, but it's a lot healthier for your shoulder joints. So that's the very first exercise that you're going to be doing. The second one I really like as well. This one is a little bit different though. The other ones in this circuit that I'm giving you, the other ones in these 4 exercise series, are designed to really focus on the lower pecs. This is gonna be a standard cable fly. So we wanna be right at the midline of the body. And what we're doing with this exercise is we're opening up the entire chest. Opening up the entire chest, so you're getting a full stretch. And we're also going to control the contraction on the way forward. Key points when you're doing this is locking your elbows, getting a full stretch. When I say a full stretch, I really want you to stick your chest out on the way back, then stay locked into that position, and then you're gonna come right across your body here. So let me show you what these look like. Again, nice stretch, chest up and out, come right across your body. And you definitely wanna make sure these elbows are locked in, because here's what happens if they're not. Once you start bending, you're turning this more into a press. So you want them to be out and then locked in. Nice full stretch. Come across, nice contraction at the center. Full stretch, full contraction at the center. Again, control this movement, 2 to 3 second cadence on the way back, Nice 1 second pause and lift back to the center. All right, so again, this is gonna create a full stretch in your pecs. Then we're gonna go into one of my favorite, all right? The other exercise we're gonna do over here for the lower pecs, it's slightly angled. All right, you've probably seen decline presses before, but here's the thing. Most decline benches are angled way too low. All right, so this is a really low angle on a decline bench. I've actually seen worse angles than this, even lower. The problem with that is you're placing way too much stress on your shoulders. So what I typically recommend is put this in the flat bench position and then just get a little plate and you're gonna place the front on that plate. So you'll see this slight decline position here. So that slight decline is enough to get a lot more of the emphasis from a bench press onto the lower pecs. Let me show you a couple key points with this exercise though. A couple things you really want to focus on. Here I like to really arch my lower back a little bit. Only on this exercise, not necessarily a flat bench, but when you have this slight decline angle, arch that lower back to give you more of a stretch in the lower pecs. Keep your elbows forward slightly. You don't want a full flare like this. Keep them forward. Press straight up. Nice and controlled on the way down. Press straight up. Again, the goal here is lower chest. But this slight angle is enough to shift the emphasis from the center part of a chest, from a standard bench press, to the lower portion of your chest. All right, so that's exercise number 3. For number 4, we're actually gonna go back to the cables. I really love the cables for a lot of exercises, but the thing about cables that I really enjoy is the fact that you keep constant tension on the muscle that you're working. When you're doing free weights or something like that, there's different places in the movement pattern where you're losing tension on that muscle. When you're using cables, it's always there. So the difference between the fly that we did and the one I'm recommending now is this is gonna be a position that actually is gonna place more emphasis on the lower pecs. Again, we started with the midline flies, all chest. Now what we're doing is going high, which is opening up the chest, and then we're gonna come down, which is gonna place all the emphasis on the lower pecs. So again, with this exercise, if you remember from the first one, talked about locking the elbows and making this a fly movement. This is actually gonna be a pressing movement. So what we're gonna do with this pressing movement is, the main difference, instead of locking the elbows, we're bending about a 90-degree angle at the elbows. Nice full stretch. And instead of coming across the middle of the body, we're coming down towards the hips, towards the floor here. Again, elbows bent, nice full stretch, and then press. So this is an actual cable press, high to low. So starting up high, going low. Control the movement, go low. That little change is actually gonna, again, place more emphasis on the lower pecs. So these are 4 of my favorite exercises when it comes to eliminating the man boobs. Here's the thing though, for true elimination, it's all about finding out which type you have. So again, make sure you check out my 5-video series on how to eliminate man boobs. That way you know which exercises are gonna work best for you. Also the nutrition, because the nutrition is gonna be paramount. You gotta make sure you're eating right to help get that body fat off, but also get the fat off around your lower pecs. With that said, thanks so much for watching this video. And as always, get busy, get after it, and God bless.